Yeah, so if you get yourself to a point where you're not as bothered about, if say with your whatever your creative outlet, or it doesn't have to be a creative outlet, you get yourself to a point where you're not so hard on yourself about you know getting it done, getting X amount done, or even if going to the gym, going for a run, even if you do a little bit, do what you're able. It's gonna as regards to say like I seen the change there for my comic book was that I read a review of a comic that I really liked, and I was saying that the art, each page, every panel, every page is art, or every page is complete art, every panel is complete art. And I was kind of thinking, geez, I didn't really notice each individual picture that much, so I went back and looked at them and was like, fuck, they're really good. But that's what I was kind of thinking, that I could my comic book when I would make it, that it doesn't have to. Not every page has to be fantastic. Not every image has to be fantastic. I'll try and make them of a similar standard, but not every one of those. And even like I can go back and do the ones that aren't as good now. But now that I'm not as bothered about it, I get more interested in it. I find myself getting more interested in images that I'm more comfortable with. So points. Yeah, so sorry. All is good with me. I quit smoking. If you're, so I know. Besides caffeine, I don't think. Yeah, I think if I give up caffeine, I'll be a complete teetotaler. Um, I quit smoking with the Alan Carr Easy Way to Stop Smoking, which is quite good. It's a decent book. I was smoking for maybe but since I was 14, I'm now 25. 9, shit, 9 years, 11. It's 11 years. Is it? It's 11. Yes, it's 11. I'm terrible at maths. You see that. I didn't think the book would work, but it did very well. I don't smoke now since October. Um, just it's funny kind of thing. Again, come back to like you don't notice what you don't have, so or you only know something you don't have it. So I don't feel that much different, but I don't smoke now. I'm probably a far better. My breeding is a lot better, but I don't notice it because it's become the norm. So everything's become the norm. That's kind of the same way I think like life kind of comes for me now. Is that like it's every now and again that I realize in comparison to this time last year when I was fucking heavily depressed. Like what do we know? 5th of February. I even found like some kind of diary stuff that I was writing just to fucking try and stop the unrelenting depressive thing pressure that was building up in my head. Kind of poetry thing. I think I might try and read it sometime. Maybe I don't know people. Um, if you enough people, I don't know. I really don't know if these videos are getting that much hits anymore. That's kind of why I stopped making them. I don't know if people are that interested in them anymore. Would you like to read some or hear some of my really depressed poetry? Um, Message. I need. I'm not. People don't. They don't. If anyone does, message me. I don't know. Do 5 people watch these videos? Do a total of 5 people? If 5 people say, I want to read some of your depressed poetry, I actually think it's quite good. But that's maybe just being a bit pretentious. But I think it is quite good. It's stuff I actually literally wrote. It wasn't writing it for it to be poetry. I was just writing it trying to get horrible shit out of my head. It's not. I don't think it's depressive. It's actually kind of motivational. I only found it recently and I thought it was quite good. Yeah, class. No, just again, the reason I make these videos is to try and if I can be of any possible help to someone, then I'm really really happy. So if people are watching these, you do, if you think if you're a little bit depressed, if you're slightly depressed, heavily depressed, suicidal, if you think like I was someone who was, I wouldn't technically I was suicidal. I don't think I ever would have gone through with it. I was never that bad. I've known people who have. I can't imagine what that's like. I we get I get when I used to think of doing it like not think of anything. Yeah, but when I used to think of it, I think of it. I was really really depressed. I think of it, but then I think of my family, and I feel just even worse for even thinking of that. I couldn't do that to them. I think anything, the way I was, any decision I made was horrible decision, or something to feel guilty about. So the thought of suicide would didn't come. So you know, but people obviously have. That's why when you hear people say, "Oh, why would you do that?" It's only a temporary problem. But I think if someone does go through it, they must have so much pain that I can't even imagine. Like I had a lot of pain, but to actually go through with that, then people must have so much more pain, um, and that's really sad. Um, I don't know. I've not, I can't say people that I'm like really good friends with, but I've known people who have uh, went down that road, and uh, I can't imagine what was going through their heads. Um, but if you think what I was 3 years on and off, heavily depressed and anxious, if you think I can be of any bit of advice to you, send me a private message, or I mightn't be any advice to you, but like I might, if I, sorry, I'm rambling here, but yeah, if you got something that you think someone who self-confessed was heavily depressed and heavily anxious might have a view on. Oh, sorry, I'm totally rambling here. I'm losing my train of thought. Send me a message if you think something that I might be. You want something that I'm gonna stop this video. No, sorry, I'm not, because I'm gonna have to try and remember it all again, and it's just gonna be weird. Um,